Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like because I come from a non-traditional outlook, I come from a digital outlook. So it's like, all right, I'll take 1 month or 2 months out of the year and record 14 songs, and then I'll schedule them to drop every month. People say it's oversaturation, and I understand that concept before the internet. You know, when the radio has a limited space because there's only 24 hours in a day, while the internet is infinite space. So I don't believe in oversaturation, and also the way I understand these algorithms like Instagram and TikTok, you cannot place something in front of somebody that doesn't want to see it without paying for ad space. So a lot of people feel like they are going to put out a product that's going to flop or it's not going to do well. No one that doesn't want to see your stuff is going to see it. We don't really have a social media platform anymore. It's like a consumer media now.
Right.
So with me, like even this morning, I believe I put out 3 TikToks, 4 reels, and people would be like, "Yo, you put out so much reels." You wouldn't know because this reel, the algorithm is gonna.
One may hit, and the 3 others may not.
No,
right?
It's not even that one may hit or not. It's that this one is gonna go to this audience because the algorithm picked it up this way. This is gonna go to a completely different set of people, and this is gonna go to a completely different set of people. So these 4 audiences won't even know that I put out 4 TikToks. They only know that I put out one for the day.
Got you. Unless they're a super fan, which
unless they're a super fan and they just go to my page, and that's also a good thing because they are my consumer. You see me? So I don't lose. And
so you are an example of the point I was making.
Yeah.
And I said it to Sizwe, who's a fellow artist.
Yeah.
I said, Sizwe, how many songs did you put out for the season? 2.
But even outside of that, but even outside of the pay thing, I want to also put out there because the general public may not also know is that the economics of soca is skewed also.
Of course.
I get the pay and I do what I do because I'm willing to say no. I cannot go to T-Mobile or go to the mortgage or go to the finance department and say, here, I have some exposure for you. Can I cash this exposure? You know what I'm saying? You know, I tell people, you know, if I want exposure, I'd buy a panty. You know? And, you know, if I wanted to, and you know, I was like, well, what about the support? Well, you know, if I need a support, I buy a bra. And I don't need a matching set right now. You see me? So my whole thing is that I have bills to pay. I have American bills.
Right.
And certain people be like, yo, listen, come to my space and da-da-da-da and for free and things. It's not going to happen. It's not. It's never going to happen. I don't care who. And if you feel like the fair exchange is for support and exposure, that means I have to work harder. That means I'm going to work hard enough for you to be like, you know what? Let me pay you.
Right.
And that hurts because there were people bigger than me that were charging so low. And then it puts you in a space because that's a part of the how can you expect. That's a part of the pay grade.
Right.
So when
how can you expect full-time pay with part-time, that kind of energy?
Because it's like, okay, insert big artist charges X amount of money and I want to charge X amount of money. They're going to say, well, why would we pay you this when big man charging this? And I'm going to, and my response to that is, all right, so go book big man.
Yeah.
Go book big, you know, don't worry about me. You're going to reach me when you reach me. And that hurts the soca economy a lot. I feel like there are larger entities and larger artists that do not stand on their prices. And you need to do that. The same way, you know, studio time, not free. Music videos, not free. And then I feel like people, because I used to work at a record label. You see me? When I was, I'm 36 right now. I used to work at a record label when I was 19, 20, 21. And I feel like people don't even account for these things, and I had to account for these things because it was my job. Nothing is free. The toll that you took to go to the space cost money. The gas you put in the car took some money. The clothes you put on your back took some money. You see me? The parking that you paid for took some money. I feel like, and when you put in all of these things into consideration, you have to recoup on these things.
Yep.
So when I go places or I record music or I market music, I have to function in the space of recoupment. And I feel like a lot of soca artists don't think like that. So when they charge this low price, I don't think they even put into consideration that don't even cover your gas, bro.
Right.
Let alone the clothes that you put on to be on camera. Let alone, the extra people that you brought, So that is a pay issue within the soca space. More than anything, the big people need to stand on their price. Even the medium people need to stand on their price.
That's what's up, man. Classic Fresco Bar in the building. With your boy Papa Key dropping some gems right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dropping some gems.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dancer. You've had previous success, previous big songs, that's
Yes.
gone throughout the Caribbean, but
Yes.
Dancer took a life of its own.
Absolutely, yes.
Can you talk about that process and that experience of having that song for you now?
All right, so the first couple of records, like Too Much, Boom, Looking Good, they stayed within the Caribbean space in respective islands. They never went international, right? One thing I could say about Dancer is that I consciously made the songs that were on the EP to be bigger than that space. Because for me to become who I want to become in this life, it has to be a worldwide thing. And I feel like a lot of people feel like the sound is only confined to the island, and the island, might only have a population of anywhere between 200,000 and maybe 2 million people.
Right.
So now how Dancer took off, I deliberately put out Dancer outside of the soca season. So there's a gap. There's a pocket where all artists put out their music.
Yup.
And I felt like I cannot break records when everybody's putting their record out at the exact same time. So I literally put out my music in the pocket where I knew no one was putting out music. And then it did not pick up in Trinidad, even it picked up in Martinique, Guadeloupe, and
Small islands.
Dominica. In the French Caribbean.
Because it has that kind of French, it has like a little bit of that.
The rhythm is made by a Lucian brethren, DJ Khaled. So it is a Lucian beat.
Yeah. So it's that French.
Yes.
Yep.
And from there, I have when I put out my music, I write out a 12-month plan, and I break it up into quarters. So that first quarter, I just see where it picked up, and I pushed it in that direction.